We can't turn back time, but we can move forward with education, stewardship, and common sense. Hello, my name is Andy Smith, and let's take a moment to examine this plastic bottle. It's made of a type of plastic known as PET, which is an acronym for a type of polymer that's not an easy word to pronounce.
Polyethylene.
Polyethylene
Tetraethylene tetraphthalate.
Phthalate?
Polyethylene terephthalate. Plastic comes from oil, and we here in Seattle throw a lot of these into the recycling bin every day. But where do these go after they leave our hands? How are plastic bottles recycled?
Uh-oh, let me think. Oh, shit.
I don't know. I just know what I saw. And,
They taken away and they squeeze them.
trash compactor type deal, and yeah, I don't know.
And from there they do magic recycling stuff. I'm assuming it involves ex-convicts waving wands for minimum wage.
Gosh, I don't know. I don't know anything about water bottles, about how they're recycled.
The folks at Pike's Place didn't know, so I asked the studious people at the University of Washington.
I don't know.
I'm afraid I don't have a very intelligent answer for that.
I'll admit I'm not well read on recycling protocol.
I just throw away.
I think that water bottles all go to the ocean, and they go to these huge rotating gyres of plastic. And it's like a giant, horrible thing in the ocean.
Well, I'd imagine it goes to a recycling processing plant where I actually have really no idea. It recycles magically.
I didn't have a good answer either for where these go. So I kicked a recycled beat, hopped on my skateboard, and followed my recycling truck after it left my house. Like a hungry caterpillar, the recycling truck rhythmically paused on its circuitous path through my neighborhood, eventually unloading all of its recyclables downtown at Rebanco. Nearly all of Seattle's residential recycling ends up at the Allied Waste-owned Rebanco facility downtown. At Rebanco, my plastic bottles were sorted using sophisticated machinery, as well as hand sorted by people like you and me. The PET bottles were then collected, baled up, and put in a shipping container. That container was put on a boat and sent to Hong Kong, where the bales are sold on the open Asian market. It is illegal to sell directly to China, so all plastic recycling must first go through Hong Kong. Many estimate that 90% of all West Coast PET is recycled in Asia. Once arriving in Hong Kong, the bales are sold to Chinese people who wash and grind the PET into flakes. These flakes are sold to manufacturers making all sorts of products.
Boots and shoes. Plastic cups and plastic plates and bags and clothing. We'll use it in our makeup, in our concealer. Oh, that's See, underneath our eyes, we look gorgeous.
It's clear there's some confusion about what PET can be turned into. Most of the PET is sold to fiber manufacturers around Ningbo and Shanghai, who turn the PET into carpet and fleece. Lacking the budget to travel to China, I went to the Washington State Department of Ecology and talked to Gretchen Newman and Shannon McClelland about why most of our plastic is recycled in Asia.
Even in the last 10 years, China has their just almost insatiable demand for these materials as they're beginning to industrialize means that they're paying very high prices for this stuff. They want it to make their products. They will pay good money for it.
There's very little going on domestically to recycle our plastics. The markets in Asia are much more developed.
The vast quantity of material that we're collecting on a daily basis, the demand for that is overseas because they're the ones making all these products to send right back to us.
It makes sense from an economic viewpoint why our plastic is recycled in Asia, but what if the economy collapses? During the making of this film, the price of a bale of crushed PET dropped dramatically. I spoke with longtime Pacific Northwest recycler Preston Hornbrine in hopes of understanding the situation.
And this has been a very quick, sharp, and severe drop. There is some money that's been lost. We've had an economic crisis which has come about because of excess. And the excess is not just on Wall Street, although God knows it was there. Recycling businesses are used to the fact that markets go up and down. And so the better ones have reserves. And they know that when you're in a good market, you, just like the grasshopper, you put some away.
After learning so much, I began to get discouraged and resonated with viewpoints like this.
I don't think it's too much to say morally reprehensible to use a petroleum-based, non-biodegradable product to get water in our bodies.
But then I met these guys using humor to flip the script and raise awareness.
You gotta fight for your right for plastic! Yeah!
It's clear the problem is complex.
If you're looking at it as a system, we've put all this effort into the collection side, and we need to start focusing on where this stuff is actually going and what's happening to it.
We need to listen to people who have thought through these things.
If the rest of the world, the developing world, begins to they do want to live at our standard of living. But if you look at the available resources, there ain't enough there. And if they aspire to our standard of living with the amount of energy and resources that we use, we're in for a period of chaos because it's not sustainable. The only solution out of this, without major crisis, and I'm talking a little bit longer term than this immediate financial crisis, is we have to display leadership in finding a lifestyle that involves less consumption, involves using resources and energy smarter.
Okay, so some might cringe at the practice of selling our waste under the guise of going green. Others might cringe at the toxic work environments of Asian and Indian recycling facilities. Others might accept it as a natural part of globalization. I personally think that recycling just validates the single-use society that got us in this problem in the first place. Yeah, it's better than landfilling, but people, please stop using these. By doing this, we will clean up our oceans, we will reduce our risk of cancer, and we will force industry to shift. Thanks for watching.